My name is Steve Hodgson. I'm the head of shared service for the prison service in the UK. The prison service in the UK runs 130 jails with 80,000 inmates and 50,000 staff. The role of the shared service is to deliver finance, purchase to pay and HR services to those 50,000 people. With a high employment cost in the UK, the only way that you can deliver shared services cost effectively is with great processes, good technology and fantastic creative people. With respect to purchase to pay, we were heading for a cost per transaction for invoice processing of twice that which should have been achievable in world-class shared service organisations. We therefore embarked on the pursuit of automation. When we implemented accounts payable, we always envisaged having OCR, optical character recognition. The optical character recognition that we implemented as part of the original solution, whilst it could find the purchase order number and match it to the header on Oracle, it was incapable of extracting the data necessary to process the invoice. The feature of Brainware that attracted us initially was its ability to process invoices without having to have a template built. Building a template would have been a very difficult thing for us to do, given the huge number of suppliers who all use different invoices. There are over 10,000 suppliers in the supply base and over 5,000 who regularly interact with us. Less than half of our top 32 suppliers can supply us with an electronic statement against which we can reconcile. We felt that the fastest way to a solution was to automate the paper processing if that were possible. This would mean the minimum amount of change that had to be managed with the supply base. The implementation of this technology and the processes that go with it deliver efficiency improvements in two ways. The first way they deliver efficiency improvements is that it is possible to automate the transaction from end to end, i.e. from the point when it is scanned to the point where it's passed for payment and the remittance advice is distributed. That obviously leads to a huge improvement in productivity. Even where that is not possible, for example, because the invoice holds or the match cannot be done automatically, you still get a productivity improvement because much of the data from the invoice is already loaded into Oracle by the time the accounts payable administrator gets to that transaction in the system. We transact 750,000 invoices a year for the prison service. The implementation of this software has delivered an improvement in the order of £250,000 a year saving in transactional costs right from the off. We've modelled what could be possible in the future, both in terms of the increase in volume that we expect as we take on more and more customers, but also as we improve the processes and as the software learns, we would expect to reduce the cost of invoice transaction processing from something in the order of £2 per invoice to less than £1. If you compare less than £1 an invoice across shared services, that is world-class performance. With a combination of automation and process improvement, we expect to get to in the order of 75% of invoices are transacted fully automatically. In introducing this technology, we have moved the role of some of our people from that of data processing to that of process improvement, where they can really add some value to the end-to-end process whilst freeing themselves from having to key quite so much data. Brainware are clearly a company that innovates, they are quite agile and they move quite quickly. Often in large organisations that's not a characteristic which you find easily, but we have worked hard with Brainware to improve the yield of the process and Brainware clearly understand that actually it's not so much the software that matters, but the result that matters when you apply that software to a particular business problem.